Good morning. Food for thought from Up Your Aspirations. Hello, I'm Bill Mitchell, CEO of Up Your Aspirations, the purveyor of possibilities. What I want to do is I want to share with you some of the experiences I've had and things that have helped me along the way, things that I've noticed that have caused people's career to have challenges, or even in their personal relationships have challenge. And it's one big word. The word is procrastination. Now, procrastination is the intentionally putting off of something you know needs to be done. And all of us have, from time to time, a challenge in that arena. But the thing that I want to stress, and the thing that I've experienced throughout my business career, is that procrastination is not the thief of time. No, perfection. The pursuit of perfection is the thief of time. You see, it's better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing flawlessly. You don't get very far doing nothing, personally or in your career. What I want you to ask yourself is, what is it you can do next week as you think about it? If you're challenged in some area of your life with procrastination, what is it you can do to improve 1%? Now think about this. If you could improve yourself 1% every week between now and the end of the year, you'd be 8 times better than you are today in dealing with your procrastination. Remember, successful people do what they have to do when it has to be done, even though they don't want to do it. What is it that you're putting off? What is it in your warehouse of information, that knowledge that's been placed in that little dome of yours since birth? Well, let me tell you, there's something in there that's causing you to procrastinate, and it's causing you challenges, or it can if it hasn't already. What I want to share with you is that several years ago, I had that problem. I had a home building company, and I had lots of papers on my desk and things to read and things to do. And I'd pick them up and I'd put them back in the same spot. And I'd pick them up and I'd put them back in the same spot. And one day I was reading a book called Super Learning, written by Sheila Ostrander and Lynn Schroeder. And they're authors that wrote about the East German athletes and how they train. And they talked about affirmations. Now, I've heard about affirmations, and I had heard about affirmations, but I really didn't study it. So I started the study of thought and its impact on our actions. And I discovered that affirmations are meaningful ways to clear out some of the information that we don't want in this warehouse of knowledge that we've accumulated through the years. The problem is, we tend to, when we hear something that's contrary to what we believe, we tend to reject it and we cling to our prior beliefs. Well, that's a fast trip to nowhere, at least as it relates to getting improvement in your life. So what I did is I created some affirmations. Super Learning talked about the importance of Baroque music at 60 beats per minute. So I hired an artist and had him create electronically Baroque music. That's 16th, 17th century people like Bach, Telemann, Vivaldi, to create music at 60 beats per minute. And then I created some affirmations for various subjects. But most importantly, at that time, I just worked on my procrastination, putting things off that I knew I had to do sooner or later. And it was usually later. So I created some affirmations. Then I sent them to the Self-Teaching Institute of Los Angeles, and I had them review them for authenticity relative to what it was I was trying to accomplish, and not in a form that would be working opposite of what I want. And I recorded those do it now affirmations, I call them, to this Baroque music. And I hired two voices, a gal and a guy, because Schroeder said that it's important that when you're taking in information, instructional information like this, that some people listen to a female voice better than a male voice, and vice versa. So if you're going to record them in both. So I did. And these affirmations were things like, I do things now. I get things done. My mind is my perfect asset. My mind helps me get things done. When something needs to be done, I simply do it. I do things now. And I repeated over and over about 20 affirmations for procrastination. And I'll tell you very clearly, and you can ask my wife, I no longer have in any aspect of my personal life or my business life with procrastination. Now, I don't know what's going to work for you. I can only tell you that that worked for me. My suggestion is that you kind of write down where you're having problems, where you're struggling with procrastination, and why you think you're doing it. And just jot me a line on the Facebook, and let me look at it. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If I get enough of them, next Friday at 10 o'clock, I will again talk about procrastination. But what I will do is I'll try to prepare enough affirmations to cover the overall field that might be helpful to you in getting started, and why they're important and why they're worded the way they are. If that's of interest to you, drop me a line and let me know, and I would love to do that. I would love to share it with you, because for me personally, it's been very advantageous. My wife says to me about 100 times a day, "Where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you doing that now?" Well, I discovered a long time ago. I come in from the garage with the keys in my pocket. I know I need the keys in the hall closet so that when I go out in the morning, they're there. It's a habit. And that's one of the wonderful things about affirmations. Affirmations help you change bad habits. And unfortunately, for most of us, when someone tells us that the information that we think's correct, we have a difficult time changing. And that's another subject for another day. But one of the things that I'll share with you about that is that when someone tells us it's out of our paradigm, it's a different paradigm than we have, that it's something that they think is true and I don't think is true, we tend to reject it, just reject it, and we cling. We cling to our prior belief. And only after enough exposure to new information do we change, we start to evaluate that information, and we revise our reality filter. Well, I want to say to you, the challenge that you're going to have is some of this is going to be difficult for you because you just don't think it will change. But the information you have in your warehouse of information has been put there through the years. And some of it's real and some of it's not real. For you, it is real. And it's the reality that you live with. But some of that stuff in there can be taken out. And the way you flush it out is you put more positive thoughts in that overcome the negative thoughts that you have in your mind. Now, I'm excited about this subject, and I think you can tell that for me it's been very beneficial. It's been a journey of love in finding out all about affirmations and how they should be done and what kind of music and how thought has impacted my action through the years. And I'm just trying to share a little bit of it with you. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'll look forward to some of your questions and some of the areas you're struggling with. And I promise you, next Friday at 10 o'clock, I'll be on the air, and I'll share with you some of the affirmations that I think will help some of you. Because here's the thing I know for sure. Many of the challenges that you're having, there are hundreds of people just like you that have them. So until next Friday, Bill Mitchell signing off. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.